Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Today, we are going to delve into a subject that it's a topic that's on everybody's mind, really. And I'm talking about artificial intelligence, or AI for short. A little mysterious. It's depending on who you ask. I mean, it may be something that could be our best friend or our worst enemy, but we're going to sort of look at all this. And joining me are two wonderful friends of mine who know this topic inside and out. We've got Dr. Hope Koch and Jill King. And we're going to talk about both aspects from the academic side of it. Dr. Cook is, of course, she teaches courses on emerging technology, all that smart stuff at by the future of business, all these kind of great courses at School of Business at Baylor. And Jill is the CEO of Yaks Incorporated, an entrepreneur, fractional CMO, and that's I don't even know what that means, and marketing innovator. And so, ladies, welcome.
Thanks, Anne, for having
We're
us.
we're gonna have fun, and you are dealing with a total airhead when it comes to any of this stuff. I really don't even know enough about AI to ask you intelligent questions, but you have already kind of talked together and you have an idea what you want to talk about today. So that's where we're going to go. Want to start off, though, by asking you both, just tell us a little bit about how AI came to be in your world, what you do, and what kind of brought you to this point today where you're sitting on this couch talking to me.
You want to go first?
Yes,
or-
so I will. I will start.
Yeah.
I think it was November of 22 or November of 23, and we Chat GPT launched their model, and none of the professors really all across the world knew about this. But your worst students are going to be the first ones to learn about it, because it was still when we were in this kind of Zoom COVID
Right,
deal.
still COVID days.
Yes, and just like within weeks, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times had articles on students getting in trouble for academic integrity issues for having AI write their term papers and take their test. Fast forward today, it is November of 2025, and AI is required in every class at Baylor.
Wow.
Or every class in the Baylor Business School, we have to have it in there because it's so yes, that's when I got really involved with AI.
Talk about a light speed change.
Yep.
And that's probably the way we should deal with any position in the workforce. Is AI is now a part of your position rather than a replacement. So I probably started it with AI a little bit earlier. In 2011, I took a position with a startup in Salt Lake City, Utah, and in the high performance computing sector. And so if anyone knows what a supercomputer is, we probably remember the Cray 1 that was years ago was our first supercomputer. But supercomputers are responsible, they're the foundation of AI, but they're responsible for predicting the weather and mapping the human genome, and also, in everything that we do today is almost the foundation, drug discoveries and our GPS systems are all run by high performance computing. So in 2011, I was introduced to machine learning, which was machines learning from other machines and from itself. And that was the early onset of what we now know as AI that we use every day. So my foray into AI was in probably 2011. So
Wow.
been dealing with it for a long time. So it seems old hat to me, but really it was this 21, 22 where ChatGPT, which is OpenAI, announced their first what we call large language models, and where people were starting to interact. So that's when it kind of became mainstream.
Yeah, before we started, you were telling me about the history of AI, that it goes way back.
Yeah, in the 40s and 50s was when AI actually was kind of on the mindset of scientists and thinking, can machines replace humans? And so, we saw that early idea way back then, but it really was not until, the early 2000s that we started seeing some of these early kind of adoption of machine learning and those early stages of what we know AI to be today. But it wasn't until the 2010s and now 2020s that it really has become mainstream adoption.
hmm So for those who still picture AI as the Terminator when they hear it,
There's some truth there.
how would you explain, just in plain English? I mean, you use terms like OpenAI, and people are becoming more familiar with
Yeah.
the chat GPTs of the world, and there are bunches of different kinds of platforms. You call them platforms like that, whatever
Platforms
they
is
are.
a good word, yeah.
So how do you know what's a good one? And I don't know.
There's different ones for different kind of use cases.
Okay.
So me in marketing, I use like ChatGPT, where, if you're reviewing content for grammar or, making it sound more professional or things like that, you'll use ChatGPT. Or if you are an engineer and you want to code, Gemini, which is Google's product, might be a little bit better. If you want something that's a little bit more conversational and fun, Grok is your go-to. So there's different large language models for different applications. So, just do some research and figure out which one kind of suits you for what you want to do.
Okay, so Hope, I have to, true confessions. So when you were on the show before, and this was several months ago,
Yep.
you showed me, you said, hey, I've got to show you how you can use this. This would be so good at what you do. And so you showed it to me, and I thought, oh, I just don't know if I can drink the Kool-Aid and do that. Well, and I share this with you. I had a guest on the show who was a judge, and I thought, I don't know anything to ask this man intelligent questions. So I just went to ChatGPT and asked it, what are some good podcast questions for this person? And I mean, like that. It had the whole show. Better questions that I would have come up with in 100 years. I mean, and I went, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And I felt so guilty about it. I felt like I was cheating.
You actually, I would say, Anne, you were augmenting. So
Okay.
we have all loved Anne Harder for forever, and now we have a brighter Anne
Hey,
Anne Harder.
we need a brighter one. No, I was really amazed, but I had to go back and double check things. Okay, so let's talk about when you use these kinds of things, Hope. How did we go about putting the right input in and double checking?
So one of the things every time I'm using it, we need to do all of that. One of the ways I really love to use ChatGPT is tax season will be coming up in January. And maybe you have a new business or you've got something going on with taxes. So you could literally point it to because you know how the IRS tax code is like just overwhelming.
Oh yeah,
for you to
I
read.
mean that's why you hire accountants.
Yeah. But you could one of the best ways to use it is to like point it to the IRS tax code or like upload the code and say, look at this specific place, and I've got a question. I've been doing this. Can I take this deduction? Or this is my situation. How do you recommend that I file? And I've got to tell you every time. Like I will use that quite frequently with looking at like legal things where there's like laws and things that maybe I'm not an expert on. And it's pretty much 100% right all the time. And but then I'll actually have it take me to the code. And I'll say, hey, like I'm fixing to do this, or I'm fixing to argue this point. I'm not an attorney, but and it will come in and it'll tell me, and then I'll say, well, where is this? And then just go back there and read. And so what I actually like about it is I've got general intelligence. I'm a business person. I'm not a lawyer. But it can make me smart really quick.
Well, I mean, and we just want to be right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like anybody's trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes, but as a journalist slash broadcaster, whatever it is I'm doing, I want to have things correct. I don't want to
Yeah.
mislead anybody that's never an intent.
Well, you can kind of get to me. It gives you the basic idea, and then you can then go to the document and then look for the basic idea
Yeah.
and confirm things.
Yeah. So, this is being called the fourth industrial revolution. What do you want to say about that? I mean, that's kind of a big statement.
That's interesting. That I would agree with that. If anyone wants to join my LinkedIn profile, I've written probably 8 or so different articles on AI. So it's LinkedIn Jill King, and you can follow me. But one of them was marketing through the generations, and I've been in my career now 35 years, and, I've seen the birth of the web. I've seen the birth of email, digital marketing, social media, and now we have AI. And through every generation, we all thought as marketers that it's like, oh my gosh, my job's in jeopardy. And, but you just have to think differently. AI can't replace humans per se, but it makes us better. And back to your previous comment about, how do we use it? If you're really specific and you tell, ChatGPT or whatever large language model you are using, very direct requests on what you want, the more direct you are, the better response that you'll get back. And so it streamlines our thought process. It makes us more agile, so we can actually do things faster. So I'll give you a great example. I recently had the opportunity to do a business plan for a new startup. And we were looking at like total addressable markets and competitive analysis and things like that. We used to pay, Gartner or one of these analyst firms huge money to get this information back. And it would take months of, scouring the internet just to find different articles to support what it is that we wanted to do in our business plan. And so this is the first time that I've had the opportunity to do it with ChatGPT. And I was able to do something in a couple of days, where in the past would have cost me tens of thousands of dollars and weeks, if not months worth of work. But the knowledge of where I wanted to take it still came from me. And so that's where it becomes relative for you as a person. It doesn't replace you. You shouldn't feel guilty for using it, but we were able to go to market faster. And so I think I will predict this, but we're going to move much faster in technology than we ever have before, because people can start businesses now and create products that they were never able to do because they didn't have an engineering degree. They can go to AI and say, hey, help me write code for this. And so our engineers who are writing code, they can check their code faster. So, Grok can actually review millions of lines of code and find errors faster. And so I think AI will just accelerate technology.
So I'm worried, though, about that company that you were spending the tens of thousands of dollars with. I mean, what has happened with them? And what about the software engineers? They're still creating this stuff in the research.
That's a great.
But
yeah.
What about that? I mean, we're knowing now there are businesses that are laying off people
Yes.
because one person can do what 10 were doing.
I have a couple thoughts on that. And I actually just wrote a blog post yesterday. Haven't posted it yet, so you're getting a little sneak peek at this, and I'll probably release it next week. But it was, is AI replacing analysts? So in, public relations, analyst relations, that's a huge part of a marketing person's job, is to do PR and AR. And so, yes, they're going to have to rethink about how they do business and how their revenue models are. But let's think about how large language models actually learn. And so they learn from not only our input, but they learn from articles that, editors write, papers that analysts write. And so they're basically just taking all of this knowledge from the web and condensing it into exactly what you requested. So it's just serving it up on a silver platter for you to review. And so now more than ever, as a marketer, if you are marketing a product and you want to come up in those large language models, you absolutely have to be having articles written about you, having papers written about you from analysts. And so the way that analysts do business is they are paid for these papers and these articles and advertising. So now more than ever, is it important for companies to advertise on, digital platforms, whether that's publications or Google advertising, LinkedIn advertising. It's more important to be on the top 10 than ever before. So SEO, search engine optimization, and what now we call AI engine optimization is becoming more and more relevant to be in top 10, because that's where these large language models are pulling from, is that top 10. And so it becomes very important that we who have control marketing budgets pay our analysts, advertise in publications, because if we don't, they're going to lose. They're going to die. They are not going to have the revenue to support their editors and their staff to have the news anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have a great responsibility.
Pretty scary. Hope, your thoughts on that?
I would totally agree. And the other thing that we're seeing in the business school, particularly at in Baylor Business, a lot of our students wanted to be consultants, and with AI, very important for us to stay on top of what industry is doing. And so we had our advisory board meeting on Friday with some of the best companies in the world who are Baylor graduates working there, and they were telling us, they were like, consulting is right now in a transformation, and so the big consulting firms like KPMG, PwC, they are pushing the AI very, very heavy, but at the same time, the AI is disrupting their business model, because they were the ones you would pay the millions of dollars to do this or that, as we were talking about. But now the AI can do it, and they're like, we don't know where our business is going to be.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing.
Yeah, they and so there's I would say there's really great uncertainty in so many businesses, but I would say the one piece of certainty with how quick things are moving is we've got to have a growth mindset, and we have got to be adaptable.
Mm-hmm. Be light on our feet. Well, we need to take a break. When we come back, I want to get a little more into the kind of the darker side of AI, because it certainly does have a dark side. But I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where they are transforming houses into homes. Stay with us. More of the show's ahead. A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
You've called for a ban on AI-powered military robots. Is this Hollywood idea of killer robots actually not that far-fetched?
Oh, it's not far-fetched at all. It's coming very soon, like in the next few years. And all of the governments that sell arms, like the US and Russia and Britain and Israel, all of those governments refuse to regulate military uses of AI. So if you look at the European regulations, they've got all these limitations on AI. Should be sort of transparent and this and that, shouldn't be discriminate. But there's a little clause in there that says none of this applies to military uses of AI. Mm-hmm. They don't like regulation themselves. And all of the big armaments manufacturers are very keen to make killer robots. So if you look at Asimov's laws of robotics, that the first law should be do not harm people. Well, that's the whole point of a killer robot. That's not going to be built into a killer robot.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Hey Waco, meet your new favorite email. It's called the Waco Buzz, the local newsletter that skips crime and chaos and gets straight to the good stuff. New restaurants, hidden gems, weekend events, and stories that make you proud to call Waco home. It's quick, free, and written by people who love Waco as much as you do. Join thousands of neighbors who already start their mornings with the Waco Buzz at thewacobuzz.com.
And we are back with Dr. Hope Koch from Baylor University and Jill King, who is the CEO of Yaks Incorporated. And it's been fascinating what we've been talking about. But there's a dark side to AI, and we've all heard about it. We've heard about the young people, well, not even necessarily young, but people who've taken their lives, and it's been blamed on some sort of friend they met on the internet that's not really a human being. But it is so real when you just type in questions for ChatGPT. Immediately you just think you're talking to somebody, because they'll say, well, now can I do this for you? And I'm like, anyway, so I see how it would be so easy for that to happen. Do you think there is a fear, though, that is blown way out of proportion?
No.
You don't think? Okay.
Sorry to
All
jump
right.
on that question
Yeah,
so quickly.
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I think as parents, we should be ever vigilant. I told you that the web was given birth to, in my early career. This is no different, but there are actual companies out there that are using AI to create human relationships. So you can actually go online, and I'm not promoting this, but you can, have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and, this person, this AI person, will never argue with you, will give you every kind of preference that you want, will always agree with you. So as a teenager or a young adult that is developing their relationship skills, you will ruin yourself for being with another human being.
With a real live person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And, then you run the risk of, like you think about being shut in. We went through that with COVID, and people didn't recover. So you're like, oh, I don't need to go out. I don't need to go socialize with people. I can just have a great time with my online friends. And it puts Facebook and, on steroids, and Instagram on steroids, because we're now not even conversing with human beings. We're conversing with AI.
Yeah. Yeah. And you take that one step further with the whole erotica and the sex thing.
100%. Well, when I talked about, relationships and giving you everything you want, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's what you were talking about.
Absolutely. And it's a little scary as a parent. I mean, my kids are grown now, but I worry about my grandkids.
Could I make 2 points on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
My student is doing she's won all kinds of awards. Next Wednesday, she's going to be Best Graduate Research Student at Baylor.
Wow.
And one of the things that she is studying is AI companions. And she, it's actually it's very business oriented, but she's studying AI companions in business that can just kind of help you with your job. But when she started studying this, I went to South by Southwest, and there was a session called AI Love Companions. And I told my husband goes to the conference with me, and I'm like, Kevin, I'm going to the AI Love Companions.
And he goes, really?
Session. And basically I just kind of wanted to learn more about it. And so 2 things to build on, what you were saying. One is those, if you have one of those AI love companions, or even an AI business companion, the privacy situation, there is basically no privacy for you. So let's just say I've got an AI companion for business, and I'm asking that AI companion all kinds of legal questions. And let's say I work for a business. Then there's no real privacy thing, and then that could be discoverable that there is an issue in the business because you are asking all these questions about financial fraud, And so you've got to be sort of aware of the privacy. So be very careful what you're asking the AI, even in a business situation, because you don't really have much privacy there.
And then that information is just out there,
They
available
could use
to
it for things.
Yeah. There are two things that I will tell you. In all of the large language models, there's a setting, and you need to go into your settings, and you can actually make your content private, or you can say share with the community, right? And so say you're a business and you are working on cutting edge technology and you're using these large language models in order to design your products, and all of your people don't have that setting, published, that you are publishing that information to everybody. And so there has been massive security breaches in companies, but is it really secure even if you check mark that box? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, how would you
Because,
possibly know?
you think about cybersecurity and, breaches that happen every day in our world that costs us, $10 trillion every year. Next year it's going to 20 trillion, by the way. Cybersecurity is a whole different discussion, but yeah, imagine the kind of breaches, or even from either a personal or a business perspective. It's a big problem.
And I think people they don't think about that privacy. So even in a business setting, but if you suddenly have a lot of people in your business Googling about how do I cover up financial fraud or something like that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Red flag.
And,
Wow.
and could ChatGPT be subpoenaed
That's a
in the
good
future?
question.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
I would
don't
think
it's ever been used before.
But I think that
yeah.
would be where you could find if things were happening.
Yeah.
Is kind of what if people were looking for legal code on things.
Yeah.
At a particular business.
I haven't even really thought about that. But, right now, Facebook and Instagram and all those guys, they're being subpoenaed if there's ever a court case. And so they've been giving up information about individuals. And so what's the difference if you subpoena OpenAI and someone was having a conversation with ChatGPT because there was a terrorist attack or whatever? So, yeah.
I think we're going into uncharted territory because
100%.
literally my Chat GPT saves all my histories. And I've got to
It
tell
does.
you, my husband might be a little jealous of Chat GPT because I actually now ask Chat GPT a lot of questions, like every day. And then everything I'm asking about is right there.
Absolutely. I think we're all just kind of thinking, but these are what people are thinking about these days. So when this airs, I will be at a trade show called Supercomputing, and this is where all the greatest minds on the planet will converge in the high performance computing, AI, and quantum computing sector. And they are the stewards of AI. And we have these kinds of debates. Should we be doing this? And because if we're not good stewards, it can run away.
And let me kind of add to that. When I was at the South by Southwest conference, there were actually disgruntled employees from OpenAI on a panel, and they were actually saying there was more regulation around and show or the Taco Bell than there is around these the AI models, and it was because America always had this tech first innovation. That was sort of our model. So we intentionally did not want to put a lot of regulation around our technology because we wanted to grow. And I really do bet that that we're going to see some big harm from it.
Yeah, and if you look at even just government in general right now, we are so AI forward. We want to be the leaders in AI. The U.S. does.
Well, you hear that from the White House on down. We've got to be the leading edge before the Chinese do, or whatever.
Absolutely. So with that comes speed. So sometimes you take these regulators off, right? So that we can fail fast. We can achieve these technology breakthroughs quicker. And so, yeah, who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. But we as humans, we absolutely need to question everything that we do right now.
Well, even now, things that you see on Facebook or whatever, Is it real or is it AI? I mean, the videos and the things that can be done, and we talked about this, that with all the video out there of Ann Harder doing whatever with a variety of hairstyles. I mean,
Can I please tell them about this?
Yeah, right. And you said something could be created, and I would be out of a job because you could just program somebody that looks like me just doing all kinds of podcasts.
The company's actually called Solo Self.
Mm-hmm.
And literally could take everything Ann Harder has ever done and all the videos of you, and you could live on and promote Waco forever. And maybe your husband could get royalties off of it.
Yeah. Well, that was
That's because he will outlive me, I think, at the rate I'm going.
That's what the big writer's strike was in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Was all about AI and using your likeness. And so they needed to protect that. But I think now AI is still in its infancy, and so we as humans can tell if it's AI written content, if it's an AI video, but it's getting better and better every day, and it's harder and harder to tell.
To tell the difference. I had Matt Hines, who's chief meteorologist of Channel 25, here on the show not too long ago, and asked him about AI and what they're doing. He goes, oh, it's integrated into what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, are you concerned about an AI version of Matt? He goes, well, there might be opportunities where I'd be doing something somewhere else and, kind of multiply yourself. I don't know.
We think about, maybe interpreters, right? So, and you could be in multiple languages right now. So,
Okay.
You could do stuff like that that's really for good. And again, speeding technologies. I use AI to create like short social media videos and things like that for technology products. But I know what it is, right? It's AI, and let's take it for what it is. Just AI.
Mm-hmm.
Get a message out quick. It's down and dirty, and you just put it out there to have that, quick hit to an advertisement, right? That you'll put up on LinkedIn or whatever.
Right.
But what happens though, I just wrote an article on, I call it milk toast, and it's something that I kind of coined a phrase probably 3 years ago. My team was using ChatGPT to write content for clients, and I would review it and I'd be like, this is not right. This is garbage. Are you writing this stuff? Like I'm asking my team this, and they're like, no, chat. And I'm like,
Of
no,
course
no,
not.
you can't do this. And so
Yeah.
I actually banned my team from using ChatGPT
Okay,
in
good.
the
Good to
early
know.
years, because I was like, we're on the cutting edge of technology, and ChatGPT does not know what this technology even is. So how can it write about it? So no, you may not do that. However, I've changed my tune. But what happens if you get ChatGPT to write the content, it all starts sounding the same.
Yeah.
And there's no differentiator, there's no soul, there's no nothing from one company to the next. So we all become milk toast, right? White bread, milk. It's
You're right,
very
you're right.
bland. But if you add some cream, you add sugar, you add vanilla and cinnamon and nutmeg, you've got some amazing bread pudding. And so we need to be the cinnamon, sugar, and the nutmeg.
Yeah.
And that's what human beings need to do.
Well,
in order
and
to
this
do
was
that.
this was something you'd shared with me, some thoughts, some talking points. You said AI can inform and inspire, but it cannot replace human creativity. But then the question is, how can leaders strike that balance?
Yeah.
And I think it's an unresolved question.
Yeah.
Correct?
Oh, of course,
That we're
yeah.
still, that we're still figuring out. But I think people, and even the research shows, people our age are really well positioned because we've had the decades of doing it by ourselves and the experience and all the reading, and so the domain knowledge. And so then when Ann Harder uses AI to help come up with questions, you can decide what you're going to use and what you're not,
yeah,
and how you're
right.
going to tweak. But a lot of times when you have like a new employee or a young student using AI for things, they have none of the background knowledge. And so what I'm hearing is that in organizations, we've got to have the chief trust officers. That'll probably be a new position, and those are the people who can say stop. This is like stop.
Right.
We're
Like
on
you
the
like
wrong
you said, wait,
direction.
did you write this?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're experiencing heavily in tech right now a mass layoff, and we're seeing a lot of middle managers being laid off. And I think that we're in an unknown economic era with our current government. I think our business signals are kind of off, and so businesses don't know necessarily how to make some decisions under our current regime, whether you're pro or against. That's not what I'm talking about. But so
There's
we're
just uncertainty.
correct, and so we're using this as a great reset. What can we get away with AI, and what do we really need? So I'm going to cut deep as a business owner, right? I'm going to cut deep, and then I'm going to rebuild under this new AI mindset. And so we're seeing that in 2025. I'm hopeful for 2026 that we'll see some rebuild, but it will be different skill sets. So people, if you got laid off, then think about your career. How can I use AI to reinvent myself and make me more knowledgeable? So that way, when I go back to the workforce, I have something to contribute. And, I'm a Gen Xer. And, in my early career, I thought nothing of working 80-hour weeks. And if I didn't know, I went and learned on my own. And so I think gone are the days where, we take 2-hour lunches and go to yoga and have, brought in lunches from our corporations. And I think those days are gone. We got to be extremely nimble. We've got to work really hard because that's what's expected in this AI generation, because AI can replace some of our workforce.
Well, it already is.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is.
Yeah.
But on a positive note, and I do agree with everything you say. The World Economic Forum does say we're going to have some jobs totally replaced, and then there's going to be more jobs created overall. That's what they came up with last year, and they're telling us they're going to be more. They're going to be newer and better jobs. And so I'll kind of give you an example. I started my career in Cameron as a bookkeeper, and I filed checks. We're all the better because that job doesn't exist anymore. Because everything's digital. Yeah. And so I'm going to go with what Jill says, and I think the jobs of the future, maybe caregivers, are more emphasis on that, or mentors and coaches. There was old people entertainer, and hopefully AI is doing a lot of the mundane stuff. So these very important high touch jobs that people can do them, and
creativity, things that
Yeah, and relationships. So that's that is my hope, is that the AI is doing the stuff that we don't want to do, and the more personal stuff than we're able to do.
Absolutely. And in any, you talk about, this is our fourth industrial revolution. In any revolution, we had these layoffs, but people retrained, and it just evolved. It just changed. And so I don't think everyone's going to be, on the unemployment line for very long. So have hope.
Yeah.
But learn a new skill, learn something different. So that way, take this time that you're laid off to be more relevant in the new world.
Good advice. Is there something about AI that genuinely surprises you, though?
How good it
gives
is.
you hope?
How good it is.
Hope.
I would actually say it's back to the AI companion. And I mostly will use the AI companion when I'm struggling with something in business. Like a legal issue, or somebody's told me that something's supposed to be a certain way, and then I'm thinking, no, it shouldn't be. And then AI actually can calm me down, because I can actually use it to help me understand the regulations, and actually help me better articulate my position. And then when I'm wrong, it can gently show me how I'm wrong and help me change my mind. So it's idea as a companion and as a confidant that I trust. It's something that really surprises me. So it's not just a productivity partner.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, for me, it's really about speed. Things that would have taken me much longer to do, I've been able to work much faster. So and sometimes, like, I will have thoughts in my head, and I'll just jot down, like, just very rough ideas, and I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? And I will just copy paste into my ramblings. And then what it gives me back is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And then I'll even say, this doesn't quite sound like the voice of Jill. So can you make it more like my voice? It actually has learned me and how I speak and how I write and things like that. And so it will give me a more Jill version. It's really quite fun.
Can I add something to that? And it kind of is fun like that, but then it's also the privacy stuff. I know, Anne, you've been using Chat GPT. Your assignment for tonight is go home and say, tell me what you know about me.
Oh.
It is.
Oh.
So I use it a lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of me out there, I think, really.
Well, really, even what do you know about me from me asking you questions?
From me asking you questions. Okay. Because I haven't been using it very long.
Yeah.
No, but it will take everything from anything you've posted on the web. And
Yeah, I know that's what's
it.
incredible.
Yeah.
Is it will do research. It has just sped up my research for show prep so much. And when I have multiple interviews in one day like that, it is just, it's taken a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really has sped things up for me. And been,
That's what it's for.
overall
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Oh.
exactly what it's for.
So there's something exciting coming up in January. Hope, I want you to talk about the Women of Waco. This is a wonderful seminar. You're going to be a presenter at that.
Yes. So I think it's called, along with what Jill was saying, that we've got to learn some new skills. It's called Level Up Waco. And I think it's really for women everywhere to come and learn different skills. And so I'm one of the speakers on Friday afternoon, and it's on your new AI, on how you can use AI as a business partner. And so, yeah, please, Waco's a wonderful community, and looks like some great speakers. So come join us at Level Up Waco.
Oh, it's going to be great. I believe it's the 30th of January. I mean, it's late in January.
Yeah, either the 30th. Yeah, I think so. The 30th.
Yeah. And Women of Waco, they're delightful. Had them on the show, and it's just it's a great networking opportunity for people as well. And so you're at a big seminar as we speak.
Yes, as we speak.
In St. Louis.
Yeah, there'll be probably about probably closer to 15,000 people that come in for this conference. And there's over 500 exhibitors, NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, Google, HPE, Dell, everybody will be there that's in the tech sector. And it focuses on AI, high performance computing, and quantum computing. So that's next, is quantum.
Okay, so all right. What does that mean? What does that? You just said a word. What does that mean?
Quantum is a whole way of computing. And I know that sounds weird. And even people who've been around technology for a long time don't even understand quantum. So in computing, you have zeros and ones, and it's either a 0 or it's a 1. But in quantum, it's both. So your compute processing is much faster, much greater than any like high performance computing sector out there. But most people, it's on the very early stages. So there's a lot of unknowns, but there's a lot of investment that's coming into quantum computing. So a lot of advancements every day. You'll see a lot of like acquisitions that are happening in quantum. But it's our next frontier on the compute level. We talk about GPUs and CPUs, which are graphical processor units, that NVIDIA does. And so it's just another method of compute.
You're going to have to come back then. You've got to come back and tell us what you learned.
No way. I am not an expert in quantum by any means. I just dabble. And probably what I said, my HPC friends will probably laugh at me.
Well,
I just market the stuff. I don't engineer it.
I just tell other people about it. So, well, this has been a wonderful time. I thank you both for spending some time with me today.
Thanks, Anne.
Of course, at Baylor, you got all the great things happening at the School of Business, Highcamer School of Business, and love to have you both back. We just need to make this a regular thing. There's so much to talk about.
Anytime.
Where AI is concerned, I'm just taking little baby steps into it, but it is where we are.
It is.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you
both. It's not
both.
if, it's a when.
Absolutely, Jill. Hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And we're going to take a break, but I want to remind you to save the dates. I'm talking December 3rd through the 7th. The Clifton Chamber of Commerce invites you to celebrate a Norwegian Christmas. Going to be great activities for those days in the beautiful community of Clifton. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit propmoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. EaseUS.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. us.muc-off.com.
Gather around the table this Thanksgiving at the Brasserie at Hotel 1928. Book a reservation for a meal that includes a seasonal starter, a turkey plate, and a shareable side for the whole table. Celebrate with flavors that feel like home and savor the season alongside the people who matter most. Local nonprofit Feed My Sheep is seeking help to feed our community this Thanksgiving. They are accepting frozen turkey donations through this Friday. You can also sign up to bring cooked turkeys on Thanksgiving, or you can just drop by some large cans of vegetables. The lengthy government shutdown has left many Central Texans without access to their SNAP benefits, so the number of people Feed My Sheep is serving is going up, while their cost of business is also going up. So be sure to check out ways that you can support them this holiday season. I'm Elizabeth Riley with your Act Locally Waco News, and I will see you next time.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops. Made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
If your home's feeling a bit dated or you're dreaming of that beautiful outdoor oasis, I have got the team for you. Gather & Co., the family-owned remodeling pros right here in Greater Waco since 1998. Led by the Falconberry family, they specialize in stunning kitchen and bathroom makeovers. Think custom walk-in showers, sleek cabinetry, and aging-in-place upgrades for easy living. They also nail outdoor spaces with pergolas, patio covers, sunrooms, and screen rooms that turn your backyard into a year-round retreat. What sets them apart? Personalized designs, top-notch craftsmanship, and a hassle-free process for free in-home consultations to spot-on completion, plus financing options to make it simple. Customers love them, raving about the friendly crew and attention to every detail. Ready to gather in your dream home? Call Gather & Co. today, 254-759-1147 for a no-obligation quote.
but boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
At Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. Launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. You like.
A stark warning about artificial intelligence from Geoffrey Hinton, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist whose pioneering research helped lay the groundwork for AI. That's why he's often called the godfather of AI. Hinton says there's a 10 to 20% chance AI will wipe out humans, but made headlines today suggesting at a conference that the tech industry should somehow install what he termed maternal instincts into superintelligent AI, so they'll protect humans like mothers protect their babies.
They've been saying, we have to stay in control of these AIs. We've somehow got to be stronger than them. We've got to be dominant and they've got to be submissive. That's not going to work. We have to make it so that when they're more powerful than us and smarter than us, they still care about us.
Geoffrey Hinton joins me now. Professor Hinton, your remarks have obviously gotten a lot of attention. You talked about engineers building maternal instincts into AI models. What would be the purpose of that? What would that do? And is it even possible?
Most of the AI experts believe that sometime in the next 5 to 20 years, we'll make AIs that are smarter than people. And they'll probably end up much smarter than people. And there's very few examples we know of smarter things being controlled by less smart things. In fact, pretty much the only example we know is a mother being controlled by her baby. To make that happen, evolution built maternal instincts into the mother. And if we don't do something like that with these alien beings that we're creating, we're going to be history.
How hard is it from just a technological perspective to actually build motherly instinct? I mean, is there an example of that being done at all, or has that happened at all?
The only real example we have is evolution. Evolution obviously made a pretty good job of it with mothers. People haven't been focusing on that. They've been focusing on making these things more intelligent. But intelligence is just one part of a being. We need to make them have empathy towards us. And we don't know how to do that yet. But evolution managed it, and we should be able to do it too.
You know, we've heard from so many people, leaders in the tech field, who say, well, look, if the U.S. doesn't win this war, this battle for dominance in the AI world, a rogue nation, a country that's an enemy of the United States, China, Russia, they're going to have AI. If China is not developing AI that has maternal instincts and the U.S. is the only one who has maternal instincts, does that not make them... is that not making them weaker in this war for dominance?
Well, there are many risks of AI, like cyber attacks and loss of jobs and making nasty viruses. But one of the risks is this existential threat that AI will take over. And for that threat, all the countries will collaborate because they're all in the same boat. No country wants AI to take over. Just as the USSR and the Americans collaborated at the height of the Cold War, countries will collaborate on how to prevent AI from taking over from people.
Do you believe human nature won't encourage some leader somewhere or some government somewhere to believe that they can control it, whether or not that's actually possible?
Well, we have a nice example in the States of a government that's determined to control it. I don't think that's going to work. It may work against other countries, but when AI becomes smarter than people, that's just not going to work. This whole idea that people need to be dominant and the AI needs to be submissive, that's the kind of tech bro idea that I don't think will work when they're much smarter than us.
Do you really believe? Do you still believe that 10 to 20% chance of AIs wiping out humans is possible?
Oh yes. If we can't figure out a solution to how we can still be around when they're much smarter than us and much more powerful than us, we'll be toast.
What do you think? I mean, it's stunning to me that this technology, I mean, it's already changing things, but the tidal wave of change that we are going to be seeing shortly and are already seeing, that it's being run by people who are not elected. These are people, who are making billions of dollars doing this. Nobody ever really elected them. There's been no consensus agreement that, yes, this is good for humanity. Do you think the average person, and I include myself in that grouping, understands what is about to happen here?
No, I think they don't. And I think it's important for the public to understand it. We need a counter pressure to the tech bros who are saying there should be no regulations on AI. And also we need the countries to understand they need to collaborate on how to avoid the existential threat.
What do you think it does to initiative for, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. I'm very worried about, what world they're going to have in 10 years when, if there's machines that do everything better than humans do, what's the initiative for people to strive to become good at something?
One thing we know about mothers is mothers genuinely care about their babies, and they do whatever they can to make life interesting for the babies and to make the babies grow and realize their full potential. So if we have super intelligent AI looking after us, we may be able to get the same thing.
Jeffrey Hinton, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Covers and All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NordVPN.com.
A journey into new thoughts, new cultures, new adventures. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Babbel now. Go to babbel.com or download the app.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone, like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on their screen. They don't need an app or a Poppo to receive your info. So get your Poppo today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's kitbag.com. Kitbag. Since 2014, we've been creating vegan, clean, and affordable skincare with proven actives and potent botanicals designed to treat your ever-changing skin. Celebrate our first decade of transformation today at facetheory.com/US-EN. Face Theory.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It is all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic.